Hello everybody, welcome to my toy review. I am George, the 80s Transformer fan, and in front of me I have Star Wars Black Series Dewback Stormtrooper 2-pack or box set. And this is my very first Star Wars review, and this is going to be my very first Star Wars Black Series that I've actually opened. I started collecting them last year. I've always collected Star Wars. Star Wars was my first major love as a child, and I tried to collect every figure and get them all when I was a kid and as an adult. But this is my first. I'm mostly 3 3/4, well, 90% 3 3/4 now, and I just got, like I said, I got into the Star Wars Black Series. This is my very first unboxing for these, on camera, off camera. The ones I do have are still in the package. I started with the anniversary edition guys, and now I have this because I really wanted the Stormtrooper, and hopefully the Dewback will be a bonus for me. And anyway, take a look at the packaging. As you can see, there's some artwork done in gray or black and white for the Trooper and Dewback. You can see the Trooper over here. For some reason, they don't bubble the animal or vehicle like with the Luke and Speeder. Oh, I have the Luke and Speeder as well. And here's some image of top view of the Dewback and the saddle for the Dewback. There's a product shop down here of the Dewback and product shop here of both of the guys. Spin it to the side, nothing here. 04 Dewback. This is the 4th vehicle slash beast and figure series, I should say. On the back is more product shots. On the side is the image of the Stormtrooper. But we're gonna come back to the back for a second and try to zoom in on the bio here, because there is a brief bio about the Stormtrooper, and you can pause that and read that. Then down here, there is another brief bio for the Dewback itself. Pause that and read that. So, I was finally able to get one of these guys. I've been trying to hunt down a Stormtrooper forever. And it's funny, when I was a kid, Stormtroopers and guys like that, I did not like. When I would get them as a gift, because they were like common and they weren't major characters, and I'd be like, oh man, everybody's army building now, so they make the guys that at least I didn't want, and I think a lot of people out there didn't want as a child, like highly collectible. So I'm looking forward to grabbing a lot of these guys in the 6-inch. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to open up my very first Star Wars 6-inch Black Series guy. And if you've never seen my reviews, if you're new to this, watching this for the Star Wars figure, I like to unbox on camera. So as you can see, inside the packaging, we have the Dewback tied up extensively to the upper portion of the packaging. It has the saddle separately. It is not attached, even though they look like they could have attached it and still had the same space. But I guess that's for the people who want to assemble some of the parts of the toy themselves. And here is the Stormtrooper, the part that I really want, and this is like a bonus for me. So I think I'm gonna go for the Dewback first. Try to cut him out, or it, or she, whatever. And believe it or not, I'm very excited. I don't get too excited for most toys, but I have nothing like this in my collection. Anyway, he's a little scrunched up out of the packaging. He's very heavy, and I'm hoping his legs can take the weight. See a lot of articulation in there. Some of the joints immediately feel a little soft. I'll have to see. He has a lot of articulation. Again, I'm not used to handling the larger scale Black Series guys, so it's a little new to me. It's very new to me. It's a little weird trying to get this guy to stand up for me. Alright, we getting there. Looks pretty good. And I know in the packaging, I think the tail should be longer than this, because in the movie they were like dragging it in the sand and flicking it about like a snake, and it looks a little stumpy right here. My memory serves me, it was longer than this. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on trying to pose this guy. I'm gonna get the saddle out. the back of the packaging. Okay, here is the saddle. It has a little bit of paint on here. It just doesn't look that great trying to simulate the leather. Well, at least they tried. I guess they could have left it all brown if they chose to. It has a little, what is this, a tent blanket or something? I think they would have a canister of water somewhere. All that desert. Then who's hydrating this thing in the desert? This giant thing. Okay, anyway, he has a little hole right here for the saddle. And I don't know why they didn't just mold it in, because you never really seen them without a saddle. Okay, I'm trying to push it down. I think I got it. Okay, now it's flush. Okay, got this guy with a saddle on. I gotta try to work on his stance a little bit. He got the crazy leg over here. It's pretty impressive. Give him that. Okay, and here is the Dewback, all saddled up. Take a look at him. Bring a little bit closer. You can see he has like this brownish, or I don't know if this is dirt or is his skin pigment at the top. Maybe it's sand from the desert, but he has a little wash over him. And he has like a little tuft of fur, or supposed to be fur sculpted in here, going down the back, all the way down his back, which is pretty cool. He has the reins on him. The saddle continues under as a sculpt, and part of the reins continues around as a sculpt. Then you have like this little softer plastic part here and here. Supposed to be going through the mouth. And get a good look at his eye. It's well painted. Looks pretty good. Nice molded in nostrils and scales. Looks pretty good. Oh wow! I did not expect that. Wow. He has a molded in and very well painted tongue. Teeth. I saw a little bit of the teeth. That looks pretty awesome right there. I don't think did we ever really see the tongue in a New Hope? Yeah, this guy was pretty famous to only be featured like in one movie. But yeah, his tongue goes deep into his mouth. And his oh wow. Wow. It's articulated. La 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 la. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet right there. And his head articulation. It's got some left and right. It probably with 360, except for the reins here are glued on or molded in. I guess it's glued on. Pretty good range of motion there. He can look down. Really can't look up. Come around to his legs. He has several joints here. He has the shoulder of the beast. Front and back, he has a leg, what even to call it, like where it would be an elbow on a human. He's got a lot of motion there. Then he has articulated toes. The 3 toes here are on one hinge. And you can get them like a clawing motion. And over here, this toe is articulated as well. As soon as I pull out of the box, I saw that and was pretty much impressed. And it carries over to the rest of the legs, the same points of articulation, even though the sculpt on this one is different. He can do all of that stuff. And we coming around to the tail. And he can wag his tail. You can't drag it in the sand unless you get him like real low. But I remember he was dragging it in the sand on the first episode when the guy turned around. But pretty cool looking beast, Dewback. Okay, I paused the recording to get him in a good stance before I set him to the side. And I was just wondering, it looks like his feet are the same sculpts, just reversed from left to right. The front and left are the same. Looks like the same for his shins. And the back legs look pretty much the same, just a reverse sculpt. Can't see anything like different that really stands out. I could be wrong. Under the feet. Yeah, they really, I think they're the same, just reversed. left and a right. So there's the Dewback, and here's what I wanted, really wanted. Stormtrooper. I do not have one. I want an army build with these guys. Another reason why I never really got into Black Series guys, even though I love Star Wars, is that they're expensive. And I have a lot of toy habits, and I didn't want to take it there with these. But when they did that, what was it, 30th anniversary, 40th anniversary, I don't know, with the Legacy Pack Vader, and the packaging drew me in. Now I'm chasing these guys. I'm chasing troopers. And I'm out here settling for this damaged version. Well, not selling for this damaged version, but I saw an opportunity to get it, and I grabbed it. He comes with 3 accessories. He has this rifle, and I should know exactly what it is. All my years, I've owned this thing several times in 12-inch versions and the 3 3/4, but I don't know what it is. But Stormtrooper rifle from the desert. He has this prod to, I guess, jolt and get the Dewback to move around, and he has this backpack, which I'm assuming is like, what is this, green milk, some hydration and some other gear sculpted in the back of there. I believe this is from previous troopers. It's the exact same sculpt, and I'm going to bring this guy a little bit closer. Just a standard Stormtrooper, and I believe he's some type of officer wearing like the padding here. And obviously he's done in a dirty, sandy look or whatever. But this, like here and in the movie, it kind of looked like, where did they get that dirty at? And, you know, were these guys falling down or what? How did you get that dirty? And sand doesn't really smudge like this unless it gets wet. So what the hell were the Stormtroopers doing out there? But anyway, it's really cool to finally have one and get my hands on them. I'm going to take a look at this guy's articulation. So, his head is on, I don't even know what that is in there. Some type of peg system. And you can get it to 360. He can look everywhere. He has a down motion. He can look down pretty good. And he can look up very well, which is awesome. He brings his arm up about this high. The trooper armor is touching right here. Not allowed to go up any further from down to up in this direction. His arm will 360 at the shoulder. He has a bicep swivel. Again, he's hitting the armor over here with the swivel. Probably could force it. Yeah, you can force it all the way around. Has an elbow bend. It's pretty good elbow bend. He can get it up this far. Pretty cool articulation. Again, this is my very first 6-inch black figure. His hand 360s. I see he has a hinge in there. Great range of motion for this guy. Coming over here, he has an ab crunch, which can help him look up or down even further. Well, not so much down, but plenty up. Come down to his waist. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Either this guy is super stiff or there is no waist swivel. Are you kidding me? You can get some play out of the crunch here, but there's no true waist swivel. Wow. And he has the belt is a separate molded plastic put over here, which I did not expect. I expected for it to be one solid piece. I don't think it's removable. Yeah, they don't have, they're not, you're not intended to remove this. His belt is not removable, I don't think. Look like it clasps in there, but I don't think so. So anyway, to his legs won't come up that far in the front due to the armor. Again, the armor is limited. The armor is limiting his articulation from side to side. This is the most I can get. From front to back, this is the most I can get. Wow. He has a knee bend here, and that's pretty much all I'm getting out of it. And coming down to his ankle, his ankle goes front and back. There's a lot of motion in there, and he has a rocker, so I guess if you wanted to, you can get him in a much wider stance. But yeah, that is his articulation. So I'm going to take a closer look at the paint. He has sand on the top of his helmet like he's been touching his head or something and leaving dirt. But again, you know, they're searching for droids. Were they digging in the sand You know, how did these guys get this dirty? And they were very dirty in the movie, which was weird. And come around to the back of his armor, he has pretty much no dirt, but it has like a, I don't know, a darker tinge. It's not as pure white as the standard Stormtrooper, even where there is no dirt. He's kind of has that light. He's been in the desert, fading to him. And where he does have the dirt, it's done pretty well. His paint is pretty good, even on the helmet, his face. It's a pretty cool looking figure. And the plastic is a lot softer than I thought and would have imagined. Anyway, we're going to get out one of his accessories, which is the backpack. And I do believe it goes like this. There's one peg in his back, one peg in the backpack. I think this is how it goes. Maybe not. Yeah. My question is, what is this damn thing hanging around for? What is this? Does it go like that? Maybe it does. I guess it's like an extra pouch or something. Just goes right there. And here he is with the backpack. And let's see how he actually stands with it on now. Now he has the backpack. Yeah, that's what I thought. It makes him back heavy. They should have hollowed it out some more. Let's try it again. I'm sure I can get him to stand, but just a standard stance is not working with the backpack on, at least not for my figure. Yeah, I really can't get him to stand. I mean, I could hunch him over for it. I knew that would work. You know, if you had any figures, you know the little tricks, but it's pretty much, he's not really going to stand on his own. Like if you got him on the shelf and you bump the shelf, he's going down. And I know we got the Dewback back here and you can put him on a Dewback, but so you might have more than one and want to display it different. You got to kind of get them to lean forward. And it seems a little, well, it felt flimsy, but it's not. And I'm going to get his rifle out of here. So I stopped recording to try to get him in a position with his rifle. And this right arm is very gummy. It's not really turning on the hinge on mine. And all I'm doing is just bending it. If you can see it. I'm not really getting anything out of mine. It's like it's too tight or something. And it's just flexing back. So that's a bummer. And now the backpack's trying to come off. He's a lot softer than I would have thought. Like the plastic is kind of soft, like everywhere. Like you can hear it. It's soft. So I don't want to break anything or stress anything. I was going to try to get two hands on the gun. Pose them that way, but this arm elbow is just fine. But this one, not so much. Anyway, take the prod. If I get this in his hand. Assuming it goes this way. Plastic here on there. Holds that just fine. And again, all I can do is some up and down with it. Wow, it's a little bit disappointing. Onto the Dewback. Okay, so his legs open wide enough to get him on there. Seems pretty secure, like due to the rubbery plastic. Take his little staff. Put it in his hand. I'm assuming it would go down, even though he's always seen holding it upwards. Assuming that you position it down so he can actually like poke the beast. We can get him to hold the reins. No problem with that. And this is probably the one figure out of all the ones I own, I wish he had a place to store his third accessory, which is the gun. Or maybe it could have went somewhere on the saddle or something. But as it is, there's really no place to put the gun. He's either holding the prod or in the reins, or the gun in the prod, or So one of these things is going to be left out somewhere. I don't know if I can work it in somewhere under one of the saddlebags. Well, that works. That will do. And as I'm turning around, positioning it, trying to get a shot, his legs are collapsing a little bit. Maybe I need to work on that. And this is an out of the box review. I didn't rehearse or play around with it ahead of time. But as far as aesthetics, it looks great. That right arm could have been a little bit better, and the plastic could be a little bit harder on these guys. And if you have these, you're probably used to it. Like, what the hell is he talking about? But it seems a little soft to me. But it looks great. Okay, to do just a tad bit of comparison, here is my trilogy figure. I know it's unfair, it's in the packaging, and it's the closest one to me. This is the start of my collection as far as toy reviews. You can look for more of these Star Wars figures to come. If you like my review on this figure, you can check back with me. More coming soon. And overall, I like this figure. It's a little bit gummier than I expected, and I don't like the arm right here. He's in stores right now. I picked this up maybe like a week or two ago. If you're into these guys, I think he's definitely worth picking up. Definitely. And the Dewback was a bonus for me, and I think to me it's my favorite part. Don't get me wrong, I like the Trooper. Happy to have the Trooper. Get him loose. This is my first 6-inch Trooper, and I'm looking for more. I'm trying to army build. I love the army build, like I said earlier. But now everyone army builds, so the lesser known guys or the army trooper guys are harder to find, which sucks. So this is George, the 80s Transformer fan. Thank you for joining me for another toy review, and I'll see you soon.